We had Masters mayhem in Tennessee. Close finishes and dominant performances highlight the Legends Championship. An Aussie athlete is calling it quits, and a band of brothers is set to compete in Miami. That's next on Game Central. Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Game Central presented by Guaranteed Rate, the official mortgage company of the NOBULL CrossFit Games. We are almost to the end of 2022 and the Open is right around the corner, but there are more off-season competitions taking place. The most recent one took place this past weekend at CrossFit Mayhem in Cookeville, Tennessee. It was the 2022 Legends Championship. This is the sixth time this Masters competition has been held. There were 7 divisions for both the men and the women, and here are the champions for the women's side. 3 of them absolutely dominant. Julia Kenyon in the 40 to 44-year-old division, Tia Gebby in the 50 to 54-year-old division, and Patty McGill in the 60 to 64-year-old division. Let's start with Julia Kenyon. She won her division by 108 points. She won 4 of the 8 events and only finished lower than 4th one time. Tia Gebby was even more dominant in bringing home the 50 to 54-year-old championship. Gebby won 7 of the 8 events. She finished second in the one event that she failed to win. Gebby earned a total of 794 out of a possible 800 points. And finally, Patty McGill won her second straight Legends Championship. She finished first in 4 of the 8 workouts and wound up winning her division by 106 points. Here are the champions on the men's side, and we saw a lot of close finishes. Jonathan Varela edged out Rudy Berger by just 8 points in the 40 to 44-year-old division. Corey Daig took the title in the 50 to 54-year-old division by just 2 points over Roan Lowe, and Jason Grubb needed a comeback over the final 2 events to beat Jason Luukkonen. This is the 3rd straight time that Grubb has won the Legends Championship. He came into the final 2 events trailing Luukkonen by 4 points for the top spot on the overall leaderboard. Grubb then went out and won both events 7 and 8 to lock up the championship. In 9 events, Grubb won 3 and he only finished lower than 4th one time. Cal Cherrington, meanwhile, won the 65-plus championship for the men, and it was a fantastic way for him to close out his competitive career. Cherrington announced that the Legends Championship was going to be his final competition. It's the end to a very solid career. He has 4 CrossFit Games appearances under his belt, and he stood on top of the podium in Madison this past August. Cherrington had a great performance this past weekend in Cookeville. He won 6 of the 8 events to earn the championship, and it's the first time that he has stood on top of the podium at the Legends Championship. But Cherrington is not the only athlete calling it quits. Con Porter recently announced that 2023 will be his final season. Now, Porter has put together an impressive resume since he first showed up at the CrossFit Games in 2014. He's competed at the Games a total of 7 times. He's also a former regional champion back in 2015. His most recent appearance in Madison came this past year on the CrossFit Reykjavik team that finished 4th overall. Porter will try to make it back to the CrossFit Games as an individual for the first time since 2020. He took 26th that year. He had one of the more memorable moments in regionals history back in 2016 when he won the final event of the Pacific Regional in dramatic fashion to earn his 3rd trip to the CrossFit Games. We only have one more off-season competition on the schedule before the 2023 Games season begins, and that is Wodapalooza that will take place in Miami, Florida in January of 2023. And there's a different schedule to this event that there has been in the past. The individuals will compete on Thursday and Friday, and then the teams of 3 will compete on Saturday and Sunday. There are going to be plenty of big names throwing down in the team division. On the women's side, Danielle Brandon will team up with Andrea Nisler and Taylor Williamson, and Carrie Pierce will be back in action. She pairs up with Ariel Lowen and Alex Kazan. Then on the men's side, that team of Travis Mayer, Noah Olson, and Chandler Smith, they are coming back. Cole Sager will be working with Jason Hopper and James Sprague, and Ricky Garrard, Matt DeLugos, and Tim Paulson will all be on a team. This will be the first time that the Panchik brothers have competed together on a team. All 3 have qualified for the CrossFit Games as individuals in the past, but they have never all competed there at the same time. This will also be the first time that we get to see Scott Panchik back in action since his injury in semifinals earlier this year. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Games Central, everybody, presented by Guaranteed Rate, the official mortgage company of the NOBULL CrossFit Games. And remember that every single episode of Miles to Madison is available now on the CrossFit Games YouTube channel, and you can sign up for the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Open right now. Head to games.crossfit.com. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland, and we'll talk to you next time.